What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. Welcome to another episode of the Gamer's Perspective podcast. I want to make sure the mic is good. Listen, I'm gonna title this one "We Need to Save Sony." I know I came out a little bit harsh at the PlayStation community, and I came a little bit harsh at the PlayStation content creators and everything like that. And I still feel that exact same way when I made that video. However, if you care about gaming, regardless of what platform you're on, you should understand that PlayStation as a game developer, publisher, whatever you want to call it, is necessary, right? What's up, Barreros? It's definitely necessary. And what we're seeing right now is a PlayStation that is not who they used to be. We can be honest with that, right? On this channel, we're gonna go ahead and be honest, okay? I have Xbox on the screen because the solution right now for Sony is for you as a gamer to support the Sony games. You're going to be tempted as Xbox goes ahead and starts dropping games over there on the PlayStation. I'm letting you know right now, you're going to be tempted. Your goal, as crazy as this may seem, if you care about PlayStation, should be to resist those games. I know it sounds wild, and go ahead and play the PlayStation games, buy the PlayStation games. Now I understand all the remakes and all the remasters. Now I understand the whole copy and paste things that PlayStation has been doing this generation. It makes sense. It's not their fault, right? The market is just different. Bless you. A lot of people aren't gonna like this video. I already know. But it's either we save PlayStation or PlayStation dies. There is no in between, unfortunately. PlayStation is literally yelling from the mountaintops, letting the industry know, the player base knows, like, hey, we need a live service game. And it makes sense. When you're looking at the industry, the live service games are the ones that are destroying the competition. It's not even close. You have the greatest single player AAA banger game. It's not going to matter. The year that Hogwarts Legacy won over Call of Duty, Hogwarts came out in February and Call of Duty came out in like October. And that's the only game that was able to beat it. You know what I mean? So there's levels to this, as I like to say. When you look at something like Nintendo, there's a big misconception there. People are quick to say, well, Nintendo's doing it with their first party exclusive, this and that. Nintendo borderline has live service games too. They've remade Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Supreme, Quadruple, Ultimate 50,000 times. Smash Brothers is Smash Bros again, right? Splatoon was a huge hit. That one nobody really saw coming. But these are multiplayer games that Nintendo has in their back pockets that it's all theirs. And Nintendo's not sharing that revenue with anybody. They make the game themselves. I bet you they don't spend as much money as... There's no way Mario Kart costs as much money to make as like a Forza or a Gran Turismo. There's no way. They don't have to worry about licensing the cards, none of that stuff. Every character in the game is theirs. Like, literally, they own everything. But here's the problem, right? I've said this before in plenty of videos. Life is not fair, right? And business is not going to be fair, okay? So when people try to compare Sony to Nintendo, it's just not fair. It's not the same. Nintendo's on a different level, okay? That's why the Nintendo Switch 2 that's going to come out extremely underpowered still for today's standards is still going to sell like hotcakes. There's nobody out here thinking that this thing is going to flop. Not a single person thinks this is going to flop, right? But that's because Nintendo's on a whole different side, okay? Microsoft, Xbox saw what happened, and they saw it at a pivotal time, and they were able to adjust and shift at a pivotal time. Plus the fact that Xbox does have the backing of Microsoft, which has a lot of money. Which again, I get it. It's not fair, but it is what it is. They have games, and it's ironic. I put a tweet out today. It's ironic how, as a PlayStation gamer, what's about to save your console and make your console and your gaming experience relevant is the fact that Xbox games are coming to it. A few people are trying to downplay how big it is that Sony had to cancel all these games. Okay. But that's time. I gotta give a shout out to BG, because BG was the first one that said it. BG said, I don't care about the money. I'm worried about the time that these people spent. I don't know how much time they spent trying to develop these games for it just to be canceled. And I think I saw something from the gamer, I don't know if it's true or not, that some of these studios didn't even know that Sony was going to cancel them. So Sony just came down and canceled them. So the question is, how fast can Sony turn around and make these AAA single player games? I'll tell you what. It would make more sense for them to focus the rest of the generation on remakes and remasters and bringing back old IPs the way they said. See, that makes sense. Listen to me. If you drop a God of War trilogy remaster or whatever, right, on the PlayStation 5, I think it would sell. If you dropped Infamous not Second Son, the Infamous collection on the PS5, I think it was. There's a whole bunch of games that they could make them run on the PS5 that would instantly give them a little bit of money. But what they're looking for is the Helldivers version to console. That's what they're looking for, and I don't think they're gonna stop. They weren't lying when they just mentioned Call of Duty and their fear for Call of Duty being owned by Xbox. And the fear that they had with Call of Duty being owned by Xbox wasn't even Xbox taking Call of Duty away. Remember, the fear was, what if we got a downgraded version of Call of Duty? Just a downgraded version of Call of Duty. Now, to all my PlayStation 5 Pro owners out there, right? They're telling me that Call of Duty apparently has a PS5 Pro version, right, for Call of Duty. So, I mean, that's great. That's amazing. If that's true, so then they don't have to worry about that. But still, obviously, PlayStation wants a Call of Duty variant, Helldivers variant that's attached to their console. See, that's the problem. Helldivers right now is doing great on PC, but Sony doesn't want to share that revenue with Steam. It's a take it or leave it situation, though, right? Which means like they have to give and take. And I understand the PlayStation loyalists and everything, but at this point, if you care about PlayStation, you gotta let go of that loyalist stuff. And this is what I mean. You should be telling PlayStation, hey, go ahead and put your games day and date on PC. I agree with you. Putting them day and date on Xbox or putting your games on Xbox, I don't think really has that big of a benefit, because it's my belief that most Xbox gamers already have a PlayStation. That's what I believe. I don't think there's a lot of people out there with just an Xbox. But I could be wrong. I could be naive. I remember watching a video earlier today where somebody said that when they were growing up, they didn't console war, because they had everything and they don't remember console war. However, I remember growing up, it was either a Nintendo 64 or a PlayStation. Like, we weren't having both. And I remember I got my N64 way later. You know what I mean? So we weren't privileged like that to be able to buy every single console. So maybe I am wrong. Maybe there is people out there that only have the Xbox, especially the Xbox Series S, because they saw it, they saw the price, and they were like, hey, I just want to play my Call of Duties, which you can do on Xbox Series S. I just want to play my 2Ks, my Maddens, right? My Fortnites, right? Listen, if you got an Xbox Series S, you can play the 90% of the top 10 games every single year. That's huge, right? That's huge, especially the live service games. Yeah, you got them. You're gonna be perfectly fine. But Sony needs a live service game. I don't see them stopping. But for us as consumers, as gamers, if you care about Sony, we need to support PlayStation. And the way we're gonna support PlayStation is, hey, if you care about PlayStation and you're playing Call of Duty or Marvel Rivals, I don't know what you're doing. You should be playing Helldivers right now. Like the dude said in the interview, when PlayStation drops a remake or a remaster, you should be buying that. I don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Put your money where your mouth is. The problem is, PlayStation knows. They know who the majority of their fan base really is. And I'm not saying this to discourage anybody. I'm just speaking straight facts. The majority of PlayStation fans are simply casuals. They got a PlayStation because the PS5 is the most popular console. That's all it is. And again, nothing wrong with that for PlayStation, but now PlayStation's is in a weird scenario where not only do they need to make their hardware the most popular, no. They need to make their games the more popular. I'll give you an example. When it comes to Nintendo, I would argue with you that Mario is as popular as Nintendo. Tell me I'm wrong. Mario is as popular as Nintendo. I don't know if God of War, if Kratos, I don't even know how many people would know if you ask them, do you know what the main character's name in God of War is? If Kratos is as popular as the PlayStation name. I'm being honest with you. I don't know. I don't think so. So that's the problem Sony has. Sony needs a brand. Call of Duty, the name Call of Duty is in gaming probably as big as PlayStation, if not bigger. Call of Duty for sure. But Call of Duty is not owned by PlayStation. That's the problem. Now Call of Duty is not owned by Xbox. So you see PlayStation's dilemma? It makes total sense to me. 12 live service games. And here's the thing. All they need is one to hit. All they need is just one. If one live service game hits, that's all they need. However, that studio that produced that live service game is done. They're locked in to only making and supporting that live service game. So whatever your favorite gaming studio is, you know what? We should probably be happy that Spider-Man multiplayer game, live service game, whatever, it didn't happen. We should probably be happy because it was probably going to be done by Insomniac, maybe, right? And do you really want a studio as talented as Insomniac to be stuck and locked in to a live service game? Are you sure that's what we want? No. Listen, Sony, from a gamer's perspective, we should want them to go back to their roots, which is making the AAA story-driven banger video games. They just might not be able to afford it. And as a gaming community, we could figure out how do we help them. My suggestion is support Sony, what the ponies have been saying this entire generation, right? Which is support the developers. I would say go ahead, support the developers. Now, this is where I have to be an advocate for the gamers, right? Because this is the Gamers Perspective podcast. A lot of you out there are going to watch this and say, you know what, Doc, it's not my responsibility. If Sony can't figure it out, too bad. Xbox is giving me a great deal, and with Game Pass, I'm getting all these freaking games. I mean, I'm straight. Why Sony better figure it out? Why do I got to figure it out for them? Okay. I understand. And yes, it is not your responsibility. It is not my responsibility as either. The only reason I'm saying this and I'm bringing out this cry to everybody is because the PlayStation fans, the ones that claim to be PlayStation fans that you see on Twitter and you see on the podcast and the hosting podcast, all that stuff, they failed Sony. Every single week, they could have used their platform to promote PlayStation instead of bringing down Xbox. Every single week, they could have been hosting PlayStation Helldivers tournaments. Every single week, they could have been doing some type of giveaway. Every single week, they could have been doing something for their preferred platform that they claim they love so much. Instead, what they did was they benefited themselves by talking negatively about Xbox. I'm telling no lies. I'm telling you no lies. You know what I'm saying? So right now we have it's a dire situation the way that I see it. Can Sony recover from this? The reason I'm going to say yes is because what I said a little bit earlier, it only takes one. You only need one live service game. So I get them saying we're going to make 12. One of them is going to stick. That's what they're thinking. For all intents and purposes, Helldivers stuck. They just need one to stick to The console. Yeah, I see you, buddy. Those 12 canceled game is bad. 12 canceled game is horrible. But they got to go back to the drawing board and figure something else out. Microsoft already has its live service games, right? So they're straight. Um, Xbox does, and they got the backing of Microsoft as well. So financially, they're perfectly fine. We already know Nintendo hardware. It's like this: Nintendo hardware misses, but their software doesn't miss. Many people complain about the Nintendo's hardware, but when their software comes out, Nintendo maximizes what that hardware could do, and it's incredible, right? So we already know Nintendo's gonna sell like crazy. There's no game that sells like Pokemon that's a single player or that's a first party exclusive, you know. Animal Crossing I know did good for a while. Zelda sells well. Bro, all they gotta do is announce Metroid Prime 4 and the internet goes crazy, right? Y'all remember when they showed the Splatoon, not the Splatoon, when they showed the Smash Brothers logo on the Splatoon character and it broke the internet? Like Nintendo got that aura, Nintendo got that power or whatever. Xbox and Sony, they don't have that. Xbox right now just is gonna have brute force. And in reality, when you look at it, man, what they're doing right now, I'm wondering if Xbox knew that this was gonna happen to Sony, and that's why they decided to say, hey, no red lines. We are putting games over there because they see an opportunity. At the end of the day, there's still 70 million people with a box connected to their TV that need to play something, right? Xbox already got Call of Duty on lock. They're not gonna get Fortnite because that's owned by Epic, right? They got Minecraft on lock, okay? That's theirs as well, okay? They're not gonna get Roblox. Roblox is somebody else, right? So what else can they do? Hey, when somebody wants to take a break from that Call of Duty, when somebody wants to take a break from that Minecraft, when somebody wants to take a break from that Roblox, hey, try this, try Halo. Hey, try this Indiana Jones just for this month. Hey, try this, try that. It's gonna. So what I'm telling the PlayStation community right now, that's bragging and boasting about Xbox games coming to their platform, you're gonna keep burying Sony the less you buy their games. And eventually Sony's gonna get to a point where they won't be able to release games at the cadence that you want. And then what's gonna happen? It's funny because we thought that Sony or the Xbox was gonna go to 10 million sales on Microsoft on the Master Chief Collection. I'm telling you right now, man, the Master Chief Collection over there would destroy. I know it would sell well, man. But regardless, listen. I think Sony continues the try for this live service, right? Because it just makes sense. They shouldn't stop. They need to continue because they know that's where the money is. But they have to figure out a way. See, I don't know how they do it. I'm trying to help them out. The remakes and remasters is the only thing that actually makes sense. Intergalactica now is coming out and it already has controversy. That's another thing, man. Like Sony's got to be smart. They gotta play this safe, man. They better cater to the anti-woke culture. They need to do everything to thread lightly. That's what they need to do. And perhaps, you know, they get something. When you look at something like Astrobot, right? Really think about it. Astrobot is a safe game, right? It's a platformer. They did a great job with it. Apparently, I haven't played it. My son actually platinumed it. My youngest son, so he really liked it. But it's a game that's a platformer. Apparently, people have played Astrobot, the VR version, and it looks like they recycled boss fights in that, which is perfectly fine because VR is a niche thing anyway. So we'll sure do that. But it's safe. It worked. Yeah, but Astrobot didn't sell either. That's what I was saying. Everyone was so concerned this generation with Xbox turning into the new Sega, right? As a publisher, when Sony could possibly turn into something that we've never seen before, which would be like a reverse Sega. Instead of just being a software company or gaming company, whatever, what if Sony regulates themselves to only just making hardware because they can't afford to make the games anymore, or because their games aren't selling anymore? Then what? You're gonna buy a PlayStation to play non-PlayStation games, which is essentially what you're doing. Because if you were playing the PlayStation games, PlayStation wouldn't be in the state it is right now. I don't know, man. Concord, everybody, I put up a tweet today saying, I said, Redfall is better than Concord. And you would have thought I cursed somebody's mom out. The amount of replies that I got from that tweet and people being upset. Somebody named Chris Harday, y'all know who it is, bro. This guy's he's just an idiot. He said that's the problem with Xbox capping, blah blah, pretending like Redfall is the best thing since sliced bread or whatever. And I literally said, no one's saying that Redfall is the best thing since sliced bread. That's not what we're saying. All I said was Redfall is better than Concord, and then I just left it at that. Now here's the thing, right? That is simply an opinion. That is simply an opinion. But you guys know the PlayStation fans need that validation. But that is simply an opinion, right? With that single opinion, though, you would have thought, like I said, that I cursed out somebody's mom. My replies were crazy. But here's the thing. Redfall is playable today. Redfall is a multiplayer game as well that's playable today. Concord is not. There is no reason why the PlayStation community couldn't have gotten behind Concord. Listen, the reality is if the PlayStation community gets behind a game, they will make it bigger than Call of Duty. I want you to understand what I'm saying. If the PlayStation community gets behind a game, they will make it bigger than Call of Duty on the PlayStation. That's all they need. That's all they need. So they could have done it with Concord, they could have done it with Helldivers, but they capped. They can't even do it for themselves. So that's what I'm telling you and I, if we care about PlayStation, we need to save them. We do. Me, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to do my part. I haven't played Helldivers in a long time, but you know what? Boom, here we go. We're going to go ahead and install it, baby. I'm playing it on Steam, right? Because I'm not playing it on my PlayStation. But this is still, every little bit counts. There you go. As a matter of fact, the next game that I play after Borderlands that I'm playing, I won't play Borderlands 2. Okay, maybe I won't do that because Borderlands is really fun. But eventually I'll play Spider-Man on my PC. I'll play Uncharted on my PC. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'm going to try to do my part. You guys try to do your part. I think we need to save Sony. And it's going to be up to, the gamers that really care to go ahead and do it. The PlayStation community is not enough. We know what they are. It's like this. Some of us are in this, and we're in this for real, right? Some of us are into, the console warring, the console game. I don't even want to say console warring anymore because I'm not into console warring anymore. But some of us are in this, right? And some of us are not. Some of us are just casuals, and that's perfectly fine. The casuals that are over there playing on their PlayStation, playing those third-party games and all that stuff, that's just what they do. We can't ask them for anything. But us, if you're watching this, if you're paying attention to gaming podcasts and stuff like that, and you care about PlayStation, you have no excuse. If you care about PlayStation right now, listen, the red flags are up. PlayStation's literally saying, help us out. You better not be playing anything else but PlayStation games. Yes, you're going to be bored out of your mind. But if you care about PlayStation, that's what you should do. You better go ahead and platinum everything. Re-platinum it again. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Helldivers, you better become the best at it. Freaking can't play Concord no more. GT, Gran Turismo. I don't care if you don't like racing games or not. You better go ahead and buy it. Live service game, buy some card packs. I don't know. PlayStation needs your help. I'm going to do my part as a PC gamer. I'll play as many PlayStation games as I can on my PC. And you know what? We'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. We got to save PlayStation. Okay? Here's another thing that I'm going to say right now. Because this was a slight rumor. Apparently, Grand Theft Auto 6 might drop for $100. PlayStation fans, don't buy Grand Theft Auto 6. You can't afford it. Your company can't afford it. You need to buy PlayStation games. Doc Dog 1985. There's levels to this. Let's see how much you really care about PlayStation. We out. Peace. Barbados. GTA 6 should be $150. Nah, man, you wildin'. You wildin'. Listen, brother. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. Well, I'll keep talking to you about it. I'm gonna tell you this right now. With the amount of fun and value that you can get from all these free to play games, there's no way that game, a base game of $100. Nah, it's crazy. We're not doing it. I'm actually glad that. Listen. If they drop Grand Theft Auto 6 for $100, I'm telling you right now, I'm not buying it day one. For $100, you got your damn mind. Now I got an excuse to wait for it to drop on PC, and maybe that'll be my excuse for me to upgrade my PC too. No, there's no way. No, I'm not doing it. No. Well, the sad thing is though, they probably could sell it for $100, and a lot of people would buy it, and the PlayStation gamers would definitely buy it because the PlayStation gamers are used to paying full price for games. You make fun of Xbox gamers all you want, right? Xbox gamers are gonna pay full price just for the games that they want. Most of them are gonna play them on Xbox on Game Pass, right? So we'll see, but it is what it is. Dog, but that's another one. If when Grand Theft Auto, damn, I didn't even think about that, bro. Sony needs to hurry up. Because whatever live service game they think they're going to drop when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, it's done. It's done, bro. People are going to be playing Grand Theft Auto 6, Call of Duty, right? Because that stays on rotation. Fortnite, because that stays on rotation. Little kids are going to be playing Minecraft, Roblox. Bro, Sony might be dead. Sony might be dead. Doc Dog 1985. There's levels to this, man. We out. Peace. Oh, man, that's a problem.